When you think of superhero teams in DC Comics, two names inevitably come up: the Justice Society of America and the Justice League. Both teams are legendary, but what exactly sets them apart? Is it just a matter of different heroes wearing similar costumes? Or do their origins, missions, and even their styles speak to something deeper? The Justice Society of America, JSA, for short, was the world's first superhero team. They made their comic debut in 1940. This team forms not in response to war, but in reaction to fantastical sci-fi, threats, alien invasions, world conquerors, time travelers. The JSA roster was once defined by heroes who weren't quite the headliners, at least not compared to Superman and Batman, both of whom were honorary but rarely active members in early stories. The society was less about the Trinity, more about a broad, rotating cast representing the richness of the DC universe. Their debut adventure involves battling an unstoppable starfish from space, Starro. The Justice League is the focus of major blockbusters and animated series, while the JSA often appears as elder statesmen, legendary and wise, setting an example for younger heroes. In many ways, their stories are bigger, bolder, and more optimistic. The JSA embodies tradition, legacy, and the original promise of superheroism. The League stands for innovation, unity among equals, and global stakes. Both remind us that the greatest heroes, no matter their era, shine brightest when they stand together. The League is built around DC's flagship icons: Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. They are the celebrities of the superhero world, and their adventures often reflect epic, universe-shaking stakes, right in the thick of what's called the Golden Age of comics. At this time, superheroes were still a very new idea. Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman are usually front and center. The Justice Society's stories are grounded, sometimes nostalgic, sometimes introspective, because their origins are tied to the 1940s. Many JSA tales explore legacy, what it means to be a hero across generations. Members age, pass down their mantles, and even grapple with the shifting morality of their era. The League, however, projects an aspirational, sometimes futuristic optimism. Their adventures are thunderous, grand, and cosmic, often joined by the latest iterations of the Flash, Green Lantern, Aquaman, and others, inventing Earth 2 and Earth 1, parallel worlds where the JSA and JLA could coexist and occasionally team up. These crossovers turn difference into storytelling fuel. Old meeting new, veterans meeting upstarts. Events like Crisis on Infinite Earths and others eventually merged their realities, but the team's unique spirits endured. The League's membership changes with every era, but the icons usually return, maintaining the group's superstar aura. Characters like the original Flash, Jay Garrick, Green Lantern, Alan Scott, Hawkman, Dr. Fate, and the Sandman banded together to form a team unlike anything readers had seen before. Their first mission? Uniting heroes who usually fought alone, pooling their powers for the good of the world. Back then, the Justice Society felt like DCS's answer to Team Sport's super-powered army for the forces of good. But times change. The comics industry evolved, and by the mid-1950s, the golden age was fading. In the late 1950s and early 1960s, the Silver Age blossomed. The Justice Society was born in the 1940s, inspired by a desire for collective action during a time of global upheaval. The threat of war and the promise of American unity loomed large. The team included heroes who felt more like mythic archetypes, mystics, like Dr. Fate, or the otherworldly Spectre, alongside masked vigilantes like Wildcat and Hourman. The Justice Society's roster morphed over the years, but its Golden Age DNA remained central. DC revamps its heroes, introducing new characters and modern retellings. In 1960, the Justice League of America, the JLA, bursts onto the scene. Their debut is colorful, confident, and built for a new generation. Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, Green Lantern, Aquaman, and Martian Manhunter come together to face threats too big for even the mightiest solo hero. The League's debut is a clean break with the World War II-era inspirations of the Justice Society, pointing instead toward the Atomic Age and beyond. So what's the key difference between the Justice Society and the Justice League? Let's break it down. First, their roots are different. The Justice League, on the other hand, is a product of modern sensibilities. Another big difference: membership. The Justice League, by contrast, is almost inseparable from its famous core. Then there's the tone. By the 1970s and beyond, DC began weaving the two teams into shared adventures. In movies and television, these differences are preserved. Ultimately, the Justice Society and Justice League are two sides of the same heroic coin.